friends, I'm Krista. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams again. Today I'm going to be doing another episode in my book haul revisits. I'm looking back on October 2016, 2 years ago when I first started my channel, to see how many of the books that I hauled I have already read or unread or unhauled. So I have a little chart here to keep track as we go along, but let's just jump right in. I have a feeling there's a lot that I haven't yet read, so might be a bit embarrassing this time around. Hello world, Krista here from Books and Jams. I actually have 26, yep, that's right, 26 books to haul this afternoon. So I'm just gonna fly through them. Last Saturday I went on a little wandering. I had a free day and I picked up at a library book sale in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Berendt and In the Woods by Tana French. For these two, both are unread, but I still have Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, and I have unhauled the Tana French book because I believe it's quite a long series now, and I heard such mixed feelings that I decided with all the other books on my shelves I don't need to keep that one. So let's continue. From my friend's little free library recently in September and beginning of October I picked up 3 books. So I picked up 2 of them are thrillers, Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris and Bird Box by Josh Malerman. And then the third book that I got from the little free library is called An Invisible Thread by Lara Shroff and Alex Tresniowski. Okay, I did not read Behind Closed Doors, but both of the other ones I read, I loved Bird Box. So I don't read horror really ever. I think Bird Box is about the only horror book I've read, and I loved it. I think the thing that I liked about it is that it was not believable. So it's not something that could happen in real life. I think books that scare me more are books that could really happen to me, although I was very scared during Bird Box. It was a pretty creepy book, but I really enjoyed reading it. And then I loved Invisible Thread as well. That's a nonfiction about a woman who kind of mentors and takes under her wing this homeless boy, and it was really challenging and thought-provoking and just a beautiful read. I really loved An Invisible Thread. So let's keep going. I went to a library book sale and a book sale while I was visiting Lancaster, and a number of these are from those places. So let me just fly through some of them here. I have The Postmistress by Sarah Blake, and I believe this is a World War II historical fiction, which if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I love it. Didn't read The Postmistress. It did just show up recently though on my top 10 lowest rated books on my TBR, so I'm a little nervous about it. Ignore. So we're really at 3... Yikes, I accidentally did that, but I'm sure there's another one that I've read. I hope. 3 read and 3 unread, and so far 1 unhauled. Not so bad. I also have by Jasper Fforde, The Well of Lost Plots, and I have The Air Affair by him, which I have not read yet. Okay, I did not read The Well of Lost Plots, and I actually haven't read the first one in this series either. So they are ones that I'm very interested in. They haven't not left their shelves, and I think I have one more in this series now as well. I'm not sure how many there are altogether, but haven't read that one yet. I got We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler. And yeah, I have not read We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves yet either. I have heard some good things about this one, and I love the cover. I'm not sure why I haven't read it yet. That's because I have so many unread ones. It hasn't made the cut yet. Yikes. So now we're at 5 unread. Still only 3 read. Loved Walked In by Marissa de los Santos. Okay, I picked up Love Walked In because Jen Hatmaker, I think, is a Christian speaker that I follow, said this was one of her favorite books. So when I saw it, I definitely wanted to pick it up. I believe this has to do with foster care and a young girl whose mom abandons her and she goes looking for her long lost father. Sounds like something I would absolutely love. I just haven't yet picked it up. Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. Okay, so I have not read Dark Places yet either, and I just this month read Sharp Objects, and I think Gillian Flynn is not the author for me. I'm definitely unhauling Sharp Objects. I've already unhauled Gone Girl. I didn't like either one of those really, so I'm not sure I'm gonna read Dark Places. Next time I go through my shelves to unhaul, I think this is one that's gonna be unhauled, but as for now, it's still unread on my shelves. So now we're at 7 and 3 and 1. This is gonna be one of those embarrassing ones. I have a feeling we still have a lot to go. Yikes. The Perks of Being a Wallflower. This is, I know I got from a yard sale by Stephen Chbosky. Okay, so The Perks of Being a Wallflower I unhauled and I read. I definitely did not like that one as much as a lot of other people. This is what I call the Jane Austen section of my book haul. These are not Jane Austen books, but they are about Jane Austen characters. So I have The Perfect Bride for Mr. Darcy by Mary Lyndon Simonson, The Jane Austen Marriage Manual by Kim Izzo, and Northanger Abbey by Val McDermid. This is an updated take on Northanger Abbey. So the thing is, every time I see a book that has anything to do with Jane Austen, I still pick it up. So I have been reading, not very often lately, but I do like to read Jane Austen retellings and things like that, but it's been a really long time since I have, and I have a whole bunch of them still to read. But there is 3 more. Golly. So now we're at 10, 3, and 2. Oh man. The next few, 2 anyway, I picked up because I heard of them from YouTube and I don't know very much about them. But I have Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I read that one. I did read Never Let You Go this year, actually, in January. So now that is actually 4 on the red one, so that's good. And The Vegetarian by Han Kang. I know a ton of people were reading it and really loved it, and it's not that thick. Yeah, this is one of those BookTube made me do it books, but honestly, I'm not sure it's one that I would enjoy. So it may be one that gets thrown into a try a chapter tag at some point, because again, I just don't feel like it's one for me right now, but yeah, BookTube was all ablaze with that book when it first came out. I have The Weight of Silence by Heather Gundenkoff, which I believe is about a little girl who's a selective mute. The Weight of Silence is on my 2018 TBR as an author that is a new to me author that I now own 3 of her books and haven't read any of them. I am very interested in reading her because Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library loves her. Lindsay and I have very similar taste, so I am very interested in this one. I just haven't read it yet. I added to my Kristen Hanna collection with this True Colors. I love Kristen Hanna. She's a great storyteller. True Colors. Kristen Hanna is one of my favorite authors, at least of the 3 of hers that I've read so far. I really enjoyed them. So I would like to continue reading hers. I have a whole shelf of her books right here, and I've still only read 3. So I would like to get to this one. As of right now, we are at 4 read, 13 unread, and 2 unhauled. Yeah. Not doing so hot this time around. This one I also heard about because of BookTube. The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making. That's by Catherine M. Valente. Yet again, one that I haven't read. I did start this one. I picked it up and I was really sick the week that I picked it up, and this is very flowery, kind of whimsical writing, and that doesn't always connect well with me. Actually, usually it doesn't connect well with me at all. It is definitely a BookTube made me do it, and I am very interested in giving it another try. I just was so turned off by that first try and really not being able to understand what was even being said, and I don't know if that was because of my foggy brain from being sick and having a really bad cold, or if I'm just not going to connect with the writing. So this is one I'm very curious if you've read this book or this series. What did you think about it? But as of right now, it's still on my shelves and unread. I borrowed this book from a friend and now I can return it because I got my own copy, and that's Wild by Cheryl Strayed. I actually unhauled this book and I didn't read it. I just don't really care for memoirs that often, and this one, I saw the movie, so I felt like I didn't really need to read the book. I felt like it would be very boring to read about this woman all by herself hiking. I know that it was like kind of her dealing with a lot of stuff, and I might have found it interesting, but I just decided not to read it, so I got rid of it. It's okay. I'm okay with that. Another collection that I have is Sarah Dessen. I haven't read any of them yet, but I found this for very cheap, so I bought it, and this is Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. Sarah Dessen is another author. I have a whole bunch of her books. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I now have 6 Sarah Dessen books, and I haven't read any of them. I'm pretty sure I got all of them from library sales for like 50 cents, so I'm not that worried about not having read them yet. And I honestly don't think I'm going to care for them that much. I often just find YA contemporary romance pretty middle of the road, like a quick, easy read, but nothing that I really want to keep on my shelves. So I have a feeling I'm going to read these and then pass them along. When I need something quick and fluffy, just in between other things, or if I just am not in the mood for a heavier read, then these might be something that I'll pick up. But as of right now, still unread. We're almost done, but where we stand is 4 read, 15 unread, and 3 unhauled. Let us please get to the end of this list. I have These Things Hidden by Heather Gundenkoff. Hey, this is the same author. I love that I didn't know that this was the same author. This is These Things Hidden, and it's a little bit more of a mystery by Heather Gundenkoff, and I already said I haven't read any of hers yet. Now that I think about it, I should start with this one because I believe this is her debut, and then Weight of Silence comes after. Maybe I'll switch those on my 2018 TBR shelf, but Maybe I won't get to either one this year, which is a very real possibility. But yeah, this one is unread as well. I hope you're all enjoying this. Slight humiliation. And then this book I believe I've read before, Prelude for a Lord by Camille Elliott, The Wonder by Emma Donoghue. Yay! A book that I actually read from this TBR pile. I just read it last month in September. So it took me a while to get to it, but 5 looks better with having that slash through the tallies. 5 read, 16 unread, and 3 unhauled. Whew. The lovely Sarah Ellis book, Unblemished. I read this one as well. That makes me very happy. Actually, I've read the first 2 of this trilogy. I have all 3. The Fiction Guild sent me the 2nd and 3rd book. I really enjoy these books. They're not my favorite YA fantasy. I do really enjoy them. I'm eager to finish the trilogy and find out what happens. And finally, I have an unboxing. It's a nonfiction Christian development devotional type book. The name of her book is Completely, A Call to Live Fully Surrendered, and Jackie Policastro is the author. She was my camper at camp way back in the day. I also read this last one, Completely. This was a nonfiction Christian living, almost Bible study type book. I love that I was able to support her and receive her book and talk about it. I'll put a link down below so that if you're interested in a Christian living book about loving Jesus completely, I enjoyed reading that and supporting her in that. That was kind of cool experience. But I believe that's it. Let's see. So that, my friends, is all of the books. Okay, so that is all. Here is the final standings. So there are 7 read and 16 unread, which is almost half, right? And then 3 unhauled as well. So this so far, I believe, is the most embarrassing one. It was pretty big. I have a couple library hauls coming up, I believe, for November and December. So it may get worse. It may get worse than this, which is shameful. But there you have it. Here are the 16 books that I did not read from this book haul. That's a lot of books. Let me know in the comments below. Oh, golly. Oh. Okay. Gonna leave them there. Let me know in the comments below if there are any of these that you have read that you really enjoyed. Let me know if there's any that you want me to get to sooner rather than later. Let me know if there are any that you're thinking that I probably won't enjoy. In particular, these 2. I have a feeling I'm not going to really care for these very much, but April from Getting Hugga With It, I think, is planning to read this week for the autumn readathon. I'm really looking forward to hearing what she has to say about that. But I'm not sure about those. Yeah, Dark Places I think I'm going to get rid of. I know I have a really strong feeling that I'm going to love Heather Gutenkopf, so I'm looking forward to these ones. Oh yeah, also let me know what you think about The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making. Let me know if you've read that and if you enjoyed it. Now, let me know what you thought about the writing of it too, because yeah, like I said, I don't always get on with very flowery, lyrical, whimsical writing. So we'll see. Those are the 16 books. I am most eager, I think, for the Heather Gutenkopf. And it's been a while since I've read a Jane Austen type book, and I have to get a couple of those if I'm going to do my 2018 TBR shelf goals. I have a couple more sitting up on the corner up there. So that's it. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. You might want to push the notification bell because I'm not particularly consistent with my video publishing, so you're not always going to know when they come. So pushing the bell will help you to not miss any of my videos. That's it for me today. I'll be talking to you in another video very soon. Bye!